And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing.
But I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like before.
Terence Crawford, been amazing with everything that he's done, so.
Floyd Mayweather has sent a strong message to Canelo Alvarez after spending time training with Terence Crawford. He called Canelo easy work and reminded everyone that he beat him when he was nearly 40. Floyd also spoke out against the ongoing disrespect toward American fighters, saying people treat Canelo like he's unbeatable, but in his view, Canelo isn't as dangerous as people make him out to be.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Jeff Mayweather views Terence Crawford as a rare talent, someone who can move up in weight and still stay in control. He says very few fighters can step up and take on someone like Canelo Alvarez, but Crawford has what it takes. Jeff believes Crawford's style, focus, and fight intelligence set him apart. While he respects Canelo's power and experience, he sees Crawford as the more well-rounded fighter both technically and mentally. In Jeff's eyes, Crawford won't just hold his own. He'll outshine Canelo in the ring.
All right, Jeff, looks like we got a fight coming up in the fall here between Terence Crawford and Canelo. Fight that's been talked about a long time. Initial thoughts on the potential of this fight?
Great fight, two great fighters. I think that moving up 2 weight classes, it's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So, I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of.
Shannon Briggs offers a personal take, having watched Terence Crawford grow since he was a kid. He says seeing Crawford get ready for a huge fight like this is emotional, and that he truly believes Crawford won't just win, he'll stop Canelo. Briggs speaks from experience, pointing out how focused Crawford is and how much he's grown over the years. For him, this isn't just another big fight. It's the result of a long journey that he believes will end with a powerful statement-making victory.
The pushing, the shoving, the build-up, the anticipation, the weight differences too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I known him since he was a little kid, 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience, great to see.
Last question for me then, how do you think Crawford stops him? How do you think he's able to work Canelo enough for him to stop the fight, drop, knock him down? How do you think this is possible by Crawford style?
He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. One thing Canelo showed is that he can be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, I think Crawford gonna have something for him.
Shannon, always good to see you, my friend.
You're the best, champ. Let's go, champ.
Al Bernstein takes a more analytical view, noting that Crawford moving up in weight may not be as risky as it looks. He points out that Canelo isn't the same explosive fighter he was 5 years ago. With time, wear and tear, and changes in style, some of Canelo's sharpness has faded. Bernstein believes this current version of Canelo can be beaten, and a focused technical fighter like Crawford could be the one to do it.
Wait for Crawford to go up to. He started below 147, obviously, as a fighter, so he's going pretty far up in weight. Now, Canelo himself was a 154-pounder, so, he went all the way up to 168, but there's a little difference there. And I think that That's a big issue. Now, whether that's enough to make it impossible for Crawford to win this fight, that remains to be seen. This is a different Canelo Alvarez. It's not the same one from 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or even 3. So there's that. And then there's all the different eccentricities of each boxer. For Crawford, he's not going to hurt Canelo. But almost nobody hurts Canelo. He's got a rock chin. But can Crawford, who isn't always a volume puncher, make sure that if he's being the boxer puncher, he throws enough punches to win every round? Right. That's important. Right. And for Canelo, if he doesn't hurt Terence Crawford, which he might, can he sustain in those later rounds where we've seen Canelo Alvarez from time to time just fade a little bit? Crawford's a very good fighter into the later rounds. We saw him stop Porter, and we've seen him have other excellent performances. So, there's a lot of those questions swirling around. But right now, I don't know if I could pick either guy, really. I would have said Canelo Alvarez before.
Crawford's approach to boxing is all about skill, precision, and flexibility. Whether he's fighting in an orthodox stance or switching to southpaw, his timing and distance control stay sharp. He takes his time, studies his opponents, and breaks them down by spotting their patterns and mistakes. Facing a dangerous puncher like Canelo, Crawford's ability to stay out of risky exchanges and control the tempo gives him a major edge. He's not just talented, he's a smart, strategic fighter.
Whose style is based around being the bigger guy, being the stronger guy. But Crawford is a very cerebral, very technical boxer, and I think that's why I'd never really considered this before. But also, I didn't actually realize until I sat down properly and thought about this, just how much weight Crawford has been piling on when he gets into the ring after the weigh-in. And look, these are not numbers that are out of the ordinary, but he's obviously cutting himself down so much in camp from whatever his walking around weight is. And it must be muscle that he's taking off. And perhaps that's why he's only fighting once a year, because there will be some fat, of course there will be, but the dude is not overweight. The dude still looks pretty ripped from what I've seen when he's not in training camp. However, there's not that many photos of him with his top off when he's not actually in training camp. So it's really hard to tell what his body composition is when he's walking around at these big weights. But the fact is, his fight night weight was 169 let's just call it 170 pounds.
Moving from 147 to 168 pounds is a big step, but Crawford is handling it with careful planning. Some argue whether it's a 2 or 3 division jump, but what stands out is that no one has ever tried to become undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Crawford is chasing history. His body transformation shows he's not just gaining weight, he's training for top-level performance. His conditioning is still world-class, making it clear he's not just getting bigger, he's getting better.
69 let's just call it 170 pounds, which is huge, absolutely huge for a 154 pounder. Especially, it's just shocked me that he's come up from 135 and now he's still putting on that much weight. He's rehydrating that much at 154. And indeed, to bring us even closer to the modern day, the thing that was posted, and again, this is the second time we've seen this, is why I'm kind of thinking there's a bit of a theme here with Crawford posting his weight when he's not actually in full training camp. On February the 9th, 2025, he posted an Instagram story and he showed himself weighing 186 pounds on a gym scale. Now, that's so much bigger than I imagined Crawford would be. I never thought this guy would walk around 186 pounds, which for anyone who needs the conversion is just over 84 kilograms. And now look, it's not an unthinkable weight for someone, but for someone who has fought as low as Crawford has, who is generally as lean and as in shape as Crawford is, that's a lot of weight. I've tried to find photos of Crawford from around that time, and I can't really dig anything out to show you what he was looking like at that weight. But that's pretty big. And there was a bit of a joke in the Piers Morgan interview I noticed and I clocked, where Piers asked him what he was weighing right now. He said, I weigh 155 pounds. And I just thought to myself, there's absolutely no chance. Why would he bulk up and then in the space of just over 4 months cut the best part of 31 pounds? Like, that makes no sense. So he was definitely joking about that, just like he was joking about only earning 10 million for this fight. So when he fights Canelo, he's going to be at the super middleweight limit, which is 168 pounds. So when you look at that, you sort of go, okay, that's an 18-pound weight cut, which is not bad at all. But 186 is his walking around weight. So what will his weight be that he actually cuts from to make 168?
David Benavidez has never held back, and his recent accusation against Canelo involving possible steroid use has stirred up fresh controversy. He says he has no doubt in his mind, casting doubt on Canelo's physical dominance. Though there's no proof, these claims add to the ongoing skepticism about Canelo's conditioning. especially as he gets older and takes on lighter, but more technical opponents like Crawford.
Himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean? All those fucking dudes in that camp are doing it.
In the lead up to the fight, Crawford has shown a serious, focused attitude. During the face-off, he shoved Canelo, making it clear he's not fazed by the bigger name or heavier opponent. Analysts like Showbiz the Adult see this as a sign of a more aggressive and confident Crawford. He's not just moving up in weight, he's shifting his mindset. Crawford is aiming to take control mentally before the fight even starts.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone.
Antonio Tarver points out that this fight won't be decided by weight alone. He doesn't see Canelo's size as a huge advantage, stressing that skill will matter more than physical size. Tarver says if the sharp, determined Canelo who beat Caleb Plant shows up, he could be a real threat. But if the slower, more careful version steps into the ring, Crawford will find openings and take control of the fight.
Before, Crawford and Canelo, Bud County. You're a fighter who's moved up right in weight and won fights. Like, so what is it that, what questions in your mind as the smaller fighter moving up and in the ring are you trying to ask yourself in the ring? Like, what questions are you kind of like? No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grinding, turn back the hands of times too. Because we show up like he did against Skull. He show up like he did against Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Berlanga. And the other guy, what's the other guy name? Munguia. Bro, those guys, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active, it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely going to have to get used to that power.
Marcus Brown shuts down any idea that Crawford is worried about Canelo's power. He shares that Crawford regularly spars with much bigger fighters, even those built like heavyweights, so taking hard shots is nothing new for him. According to Brown, Crawford isn't just ready for power, he's used to it. That kind of experience matters, and Brown believes it will be clear in the ring when Crawford stays calm and focused, even under pressure.
I like both of them. I'm a fan of both of them, but I'm going with Crawford. Typically fighters, they don't want to say who they want to go for because they don't want to be biased. Yeah. And much respect to Canelo, but I'm going Bud.
Is there a particular reason why? Like, you're a guy that's moved up in weight, so you know exactly what it feels like to get hit by these bigger guys. Is that something that's gonna play in the back of his head? Like,
of course,
gotta watch out.
It is, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he just been in there, got in there with somebody bigger than him. He's always probably been sparring with bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? It's that boxing IQ. which, you know, Williams Cole didn't put up no fight, but he showed somewhat of a blueprint to get this guy, you know, in a space where he's confused.
Yeah.
And he can't touch the target that's in front of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think Bud got that IQ.
Jose Benavidez keeps it simple but powerful. He calls Terence Crawford a beast. Coming from one fighter to another, that's serious respect. Despite any past rivalry, Benavidez sees Crawford as the stronger fighter in this matchup. He's confident Crawford will step up and prove who's better. Still, some fans and analysts worry about whether Crawford can handle Canelo's power. Canelo's knockouts, including ones against hard hitters like Edgar Berlanga, show just how dangerous he is. The concern is that if those shots connect, Crawford's skill might not be enough. These questions add to the tension. It's a classic showdown: precision versus power, timing versus toughness.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, there's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in the fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a foot of power. I'm a foot of that size difference. You know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. He's testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him, you know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just gotta go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought much bigger guys, you know? So I know Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either, you know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
One common criticism Crawford faces is that he hasn't faced enough elite opponents. Even Canelo questioned the level of names on Crawford's record. Crawford's reply was short but meaningful. To him, Canelo will be the first true top-tier test, and that's intentional. He's taken his time, built his resume carefully, and now he's aiming for the biggest stage. This fight isn't just about titles, it's about legacy.
This is why people are disliking Canelo. He's a 2-time undisputed champ, and people are quick to say he doesn't want to fight people, he's ducking people. He's only fighting easy fighters. That's the reason why he keeps winning. Well, let's look at his resume. 23-0, 22-0, 43-0, 35-1, 32-5, 42-1, 19-0, 21-0, 30-0. If these people were so easy, haven't they lost prior to fighting Canelo? When Canelo asked him, who have you fought? Crawford couldn't even name one person that was a great fighter. So why don't fans say that about Crawford? The truth is that when someone wins too much and they keep winning over and over again, that's when people want to see you lose. Why do you think they always bring up the Bivol fight? Do you realize that he moved up in weight to light heavyweight to fight their best champion? Canelo's fighting easy people. Well, it's different when you make it look easy. Canelo has been fighting all these people, and when he wins, he makes it look easy. And people are quick to judge and say, well, he's only fighting easy fighters. But you're not seeing him train. You don't know how many hours he's investing into his training daily. It's easy for you to say outside the ring. Do you realize before he became undisputed, every single person he had to beat had a world title? They had a title for a reason. So he was picking and choosing, I need to fight this champion and beat them all. But what are your honest thoughts? Do you truly believe Crawford has what it takes to finally dethrone Canelo? But don't forget to follow for more news and finance information. God bless.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray shares a balanced perspective. He praises Crawford for his undefeated record and dominance in every weight class he's competed in. At the same time, he gives credit to Canelo as Mexico's top fighter today. For Gray, this fight is a true 50-50 matchup. one where both fighters will have their greatness tested at the highest level.
Canelo and Crawford, who do you expect to be just a little greater on September 13th?
You know, it's so hard to tell, but the bigger man, I mean, I don't want to get hit by Canelo ever. And when you've weighed so much less, I mean, I don't know what Terence will come into the ring, but you know, he's coming up in weight significantly, and, you know, that seems to me would favor Canelo. By the other token, you know, Terence Crawford's been amazing with everything that he's done. So I can't pick a winner. If I did that, I'd just run into the casino right now and bet and wouldn't even look at the fight and then just go cash my ticket. But I don't know. When you start predicting these things, nobody knows. And anybody who tells you they know, they're just BSing you.
Do you consider Canelo even a little greater than Chavez, who you interviewed and covered?
I do.
Why is that?
It's harder to win now.
That's it for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one.